Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use? So today, we're going to be going over a kit gun that I put together and formatted and such on yesterday's stream that I talked about, and it is the Catchmoon kit gun. This thing is extremely powerful. It is a better Plasmor, and that says a lot, because the Plasmor is a weapon loved by many and is quite useful. This one is considerably more useful, I'm going to say. So, this is a critical pistol, like they pretty much all are going to be, and it has over 100% critical chance when you equip it with Primed Pistol Gambit. That is extremely good, because this is a slow-firing weapon, and you want it to be highly consistent on its shots. Having over 100% critical chance, that's pretty fucking consistent. That means it's going to be using its 2.3 base multiplier, which of course goes higher with Prime Target Cracker, on every single shot you fire. And it has considerable base damage to be utilized with that great critical multiplier and critical chance. So there's just real good stuff going on with the stats here. Besides that, I want to talk about something specific in this build that I've clearly changed out from what is kind of the basic build on a good critical secondary, and that is that I'm using Augur Pack today instead of Jolt. So, there's choices to be made for this mod. Whether you use Augur Pact or whether you use Jolt or whatever elemental you happen to be using, like the 6060s, the choice to be made there is whether or not you want more upfront damage or if you want status. On a weapon like the Rattle Guts, Jolt is going to be better because you're utilizing that status a lot more often and it's a lot more important to the way that that weapon scales. For this weapon, no matter what you do, no matter how much status you stack on top of it, is going to fall off a little bit at higher levels just due to its fire rate. Augur Pact is basically just giving you more base damage at no real cost to you. Of course, I am still using Pistol Pestilence because I want at least some status on here so that I can get through that armor when I need to. But yeah, Augur Pact over Jolt, it just depends on if you think that 60% status is really valuable or you want a little bit more damage on your initial output. So, that's the build, except we need to talk about Pack Seeker. So Pack Seeker, I got a full set of this yesterday. It is very, very powerful. So on headshot, 100% chance, there's that consistency again, for 4 projectiles to burst from the target and seek the heads of nearby enemies. So this means whenever you get a headshot kill, because of the considerable damage that this arcane can push out, you shoot one guy in the head, projectiles come out of him, and it kills 4 other guys. That's best case scenario. You're not always going to have 4 other guys close enough for them to die from this, but basically, your shots are more valuable when you get kills because you're just getting this excess of damage that goes out and tries to kill all the enemies around them. Then, you take that, and you notice that this weapon has infinite enemy punch through, and you shoot through a couple of enemies, and a shit ton of these things burst out of their heads, and they go kill everything around them. That's pretty good. This is a great buffer for like putting your damage like much higher than it normally would be, especially whenever you shoot into like a crowd of say like 3 enemies, you kill 2 of them and there's like a heavy gunner left and these projectiles kill the heavy gunner. Makes it really, really efficient. And you're going to see that a little bit during the test today. So, first and foremost, let's do our regular level 50 test. This weapon will have absolutely no problem doing a level 50 test. It's, like, actually kind of hilarious. There's those Pack Seekers. Yeah, so this side of the enemies, they're dead now. Those guys are dead now. Pack Seeker's gonna go and kill most of these guys around. Just blast this guy. Like, the part of the thing about this weapon is that it's kind of fucking vicious, man. Like, it's like a long distance, like, punch in the mouth. Like, it really gets in there and fucks these guys up. It's really extremely satisfying. And at level 50, it just... well, it speaks for itself, right? It fucking ruins them. And at level 100, you're going to start experiencing some of the fall off on heavy armor. However, you're going to notice that it's not exactly bad against heavy armor. It just takes a little bit of time. And as like any Warframe that you'd likely to be playing as, it's going to ruin them. Like, you're going to be using, like, let's say Rhino, and, like, getting a damage buff on this, so, like, these armored enemies become much less of a problem. Of course, whenever armored enemies are together like this, you're going to be... And, like, you can see Pack Seeker helping out there. But yeah, heavy armor, this is where you get into, like, your issues. But all, like, the regular enemies you're going to be encountering, you're going to be just fine. And, like, you combine this with, like I said, any, like, damage buffing Warframe, or, like, Warframes that solve, like, these heavy armor problems in other ways. Like, say you're using Ash with, like, his 1 augment, then these enemies just die in 1 shot, etc., etc. There are a lot of ways to solve the heavy armor problem you might be employing, but the main thing with this is that you shoot it down a hallway and every fodder enemy in that hallway is now dead. Or maybe dead and also converted into pack seeker shots that are going to convert other enemies into dead. So yeah. It's extremely powerful. It has some fall off at higher levels, but like those higher levels, like level 100 enemies, that's shit that you're usually never going to see unless you have a solution planned for those heavily armored units. And the units that aren't armored at that level, they die anyway. So yeah, that is the Catchmoon. It is exceedingly powerful, and just to go over it real quick for anyone who can't tell what parts are on this, it is Catchmoon, Killstream, Haymaker. It's very, very powerful. And yeah, it's maybe my favorite of the kit guns I've put together so far, just because it is so satisfying to shoot dudes with. But yeah, that has been the video for today. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about a very special kit gun. So, I will see you then. Goodbye, everybody. Also, I'm streaming again today. I always forget to, like, put that in here before I actually end a video. So, like, yo, that's happening. Later, everybody.